This is Abigail Adams visited by the Marquis de Sade. John, you are gone again. And what foul spirit incites me to throw the children one by one into the fire? Smoke chokes the parlor, and from this the Marquis rises. His skin the color of charred bread, open wounds along his chest like metals. His approval of the fuel of my imagination is a lash across the face of everything we've built. He leers at each humane and social sentiment we hold dear, and through those cruel eyes, I watch our children burn. Their skin curls like the discarded paper on which you drafted and redrafted the architecture of our nation, a code of enlightened principle by which we pledged both fealty and love to country and each other. But now you are gone again, and the dismal season descends increasingly toward darkness. Last night's storm never ceased, and the crack of muskets surrounds me. Cold is my only companion, as I am alone and snowed in, all roads impassable. My little fire fails to serve, and even my prayers turn to ice on my lips. I believe if I could only hear your voice, all things would be made bearable, but for 6 long months, all I possessed is silence. Each letter I send receives not even an echo. My melancholy grows like blight upon the wood. The few pleasures and amusements that exist are tasteless. Salt cannot cure this. Bitter would be an improvement. Every day I ask of heaven to answer my petition and banish all my grief. It occurs to me now that perhaps this stranger is the mysterious response. He cuts the 13 curls along my neck and puts them on my tongue in mock communion. My father preached that virtue demands relentless attention, and this is our duty, as evil is always among us, requiring no rehearsal. But the Marquis disagrees. He says its practiced quality deepens, like an ink blot stained and restained until it devours the fabric it touches. And this is the oblivion he praises, as we in New England praise God. That spreading darkness is deep as the hungry Atlantic that has swallowed my calls to you for so long. How strong the pull of continual despair, it swells hypnotic and full. How easy to fall and drown in those waters until all is the Marquis's will and nothing more. At this, he reaches into my throat like Charles grasping for a toy, stopping abruptly at my heart, as if it's a fruit he's never tasted. He wants to claim it as a prize. He tugs and yanks, twists and pulls, but it won't let go. For the heart of my friend is in the bosom of his partner. And finally, John, you arrive in sharp relief. I see you in the garden last spring, the last before you left, your features soft in the rising light. Our trees were beginning to flower, and the promise of abundance was everywhere. In the distance, the woodcocks were painting. We watched them rise and fall as we discussed our future and the shining future of our country. I feel my spirit rise in the remembrance of that morning, and the Marquis recoils. This is a love he cannot stand. It fills his wounds with salt, tears at the scars on his eyes. When I spit the hair from my mouth, his grimace melts like fat on the griddle, and then his face. And then all is as it was, me alone at the smoldering hearth, and a bearable chill.